he did the acrobatic, kind of the and one move where he kind of just flipped it up in the air and just catches it and does the layup. The NBA All-Star Game is one of the most exciting events in the NBA season. This is where the greatest superstars take center stage to showcase their skills, their talents, and just entertain the fans. I am Nelson Chan from Hoop Life, and joining in with me is the homie and sports fanatic PJ. And in today's video, we are gonna go over the best plays and greatest moments in the NBA All-Star Game.
Bro, I am so excited for the NBA All-Star Game this year just because they tweaked it. You know, the fact that they had captains, Team LeBron and Team Steph, draft their own teams, and they're actually giving more money to the winners this year. I hope that it gets a little bit more competitive.
Man, I hope so, man. The last couple years in the NBA All-Star Game, they were just kind of like cherry picking layups and dunks. Like, it wasn't that, you know, competitive. So hopefully, you know, with this year, with the whole tweak, probably a, you know, more competitive game. Besides that, there has been a lot of great plays and a lot of great moments in the history of the NBA All-Star Games. And starting off, this is actually a bonus. These plays didn't actually happen in an All-Star Game, but it happened in the rookie versus sophomore game. So this play actually happened in the 2003 rookie versus sophomore game. Jason Richardson disrespects Carlos Boozer by doing an off the heezy on him for a jump shot. I have never seen that before in an NBA game. Whether it's NBA game, All-Star game, whatever. So he was like, doing, and then Carlos Boozer didn't really like do anything about it because I think he was shocked.
Yeah, he froze, and then
he was like,
Jay Rich just splashed it in his face.
I would say, you know, the off the heezy move is a really disrespectful move. Like, you're throwing off. Like, I understand, like, if you're trying to clown someone, you know, by doing ankle breaker on them or like throwing the ball around them and stuff, but like to actually throw the ball at him and like make contact with him, pretty disrespectful, man. We'll have to catch his hand.
Yeah, if someone did that to me, I'd be pretty pissed. Moving on to one of the next best plays from a rookie-sophomore game is one of my favorite players, Jason Williams. His elbow pass to Ray Florence in the 2000 game. Oh my God, bro.
I would say this is probably one of the greatest passes of all time.
I would too. I mean,
this pass is super difficult to execute.
And it's creative, like, and the thing is, he doesn't even look at Ray Florence.
He did a no-look one,
yeah,
too.
It was a no-look also. Like, he knew the trailer was there, and he just hit him with a dime.
Man, Ray Florence, I mean, yes, Ray Florence got fouled, but, like, you got to finish a play like
I
that.
know, guys.
That would have been an all-time greatest play ever. Moving on to the last category, we have Kyrie Irving dropping Brandon Knight in the Rising Stars Challenge in 2013, where, you know, the commentator says, "Oh, no! Oh, no!" Oh, my God. It was just filthy, man. Kyrie Irving. You would say Kyrie Irving has the greatest handles in the league?
2 hours later.
Yeah.
Definitely most combos.
Yes, definitely most combos. He can chain together so many crossovers.
He made him fall on a jump shot. It wasn't even on the crossover. It was after the step back, and he decided to rise up, and then Brandon Knight slips and falls.
Honestly, I feel like after that play, Brandon Knight's life just changed.
He turned into an internet meme.
He became
for the rest of his career. Brandon Knight was actually a really good player.
Yeah.
He was effective, and he was actually like a really good player. But you know, you always have to live with the internet troll memes. You know, he got dunked on by DeAndre Jordan. He got dropped by Kyrie. He missed a game-winning layup, fast break, wide open. Oh man. But shout out to Brandon Knight though.
He's still in the league?
I think he's hurt.
Yeah. He's probably hurt from that crossover.
Oh.
Still.
Ouch.
Alright guys, now moving on to the best plays from previous All-Star games. Nelson and I are just going to be listing off our personal picks. Nelson, you want to kick it off?
First one that comes to mind, this dating back to the 90s.
Okay.
It's kind of old, but I just recently seen it. 96 All-Star game, Superman destroys the Admiral. I don't know, you seen this, man? Like, Shaq catches the pass from Grant Hill and just destroys David Robinson on the dunk. And it's just like, that was just like his, kind of like his homecoming to say that, like, I'm one of the greatest centers in the league right now.
Yeah, I mean,
you know, David Robinson dominated the 90s. Hakeem Olajuwon dominated in the 90s. Patrick Ewing, you know, kind of like late 80s, early 90s. But Shaq, you know, he let him know that I'm the big man in town now.
At that point, that's when Shaq started getting bigger and putting on more muscle, and he just started really dominating players in the paint.
This is crazy because Shaq in Orlando days, he was skinny, you know, more agile. He decided to get really big and just more dominant and just like unstoppable. Because David Robinson is a really big and buff guy. For all y'all who don't know David Robinson, he is extremely ripped and buff, and then Shaq just made him look like a baby on that play.
Another amazing play happened in the 2011 All-Star game where Kobe dunked on LeBron. I mean, he didn't
pat
really.
on the butt dunk.
Yeah, the pat on the butt dunk. I mean, he didn't really dunk on LeBron.
When you attempt to try to block someone, that's a dunk attempt. I mean, that's a dunk on.
That's true. LeBron had become famous for his trail blocks, and
Chase down blocks, he's been known for that.
Kobe looked him in the eye.
For real, it was crazy how Kobe just like looked at him first, seen him coming, and then he dunked it.
And he dunked it. And like Nelson said, to top it off, he gave him a little pat on the butt, said next time.
He said next time, young fella. Or someone who was a Reggie Miller, or one of the commentators says that, nice try, young fella. I would say any other player would have been afraid. They would have either dribbled out or passed it to somebody else. But you know, Kobe with the killer instinct, you know, with the Mamba mentality, like, all right, you challenge me, all right, I'm gonna step up.
And it was just an All-Star game. It's
not
even for like the win or anything. You just Kobe being crazy. I really like this moment just because it was one of the last times that I remember Kobe being at the peak of his career. After this, he became injured and he got older. But just seeing that game and seeing him dunk on LeBron was very satisfying.
Coming from a Laker fan. Next up, we have another throwback. We're gonna go back to 1989 when Isaiah Thomas makes a almost full court pass. It was more of like a 3/4 pass, but it was a crazy pass. He did a one-hand bounce pass to Michael Jordan for the dunk. This was an amazing play because he threaded the needle. He threaded the needle, man.
I don't know how he made that pass.
It was just like so, it just happened so fast. He like charged up his whole body and just like pounded that thing. It was crazy. I can't recall not too many players who could make that pass.
No, even in today's game. Next up, we have T-Mac with not one, but two off-the-glass dunks in the All-Star game. The first one happened in 2002, and that one was so iconic because he was wearing his Magic jersey. He threw the ball from like the three-point line. With his left hand, came back, dunked through the whole lane.
To me, I had that poster growing up. It was iconic. I had the shoes, the T-Mac ones, you know, in that silver All-Star colorway. T-Mac was a phenomenal player. Growing up, he was one of my favorite players, and that was one of the most iconic plays because, like I said, he may be the first one to do it off the backboard to himself.
Right.
And he did it just so nonchalant. Like, it was so easy, so casual. And it just, because, like, there was people in the court, too. It wasn't wide open. There's legit people, like, all like in front of him. He's just like, whoop. Boom. It was just like crazy.
And you know he had to run it back and do it in 2004 when he had the two-handed jam off the backboard. My favorite thing about T-Mac is just that it doesn't matter what kind of game he was playing, you know he was going to show out.
Right.
And not in a cocky way.
He's just a phenomenal athlete,
he was
you
just,
know?
Yeah.
And he did it in the mismatched T-Mac 3s.
Oh, of course.
So then that was crazy.
Like extra juicy.
Extra juicy. So enough of the crazy dunks. We're going to talk about the crazy layups. Allen Iverson in 2000 and 2001 where he had his acrobatic layups. These were crazy. They were insane. You know, Allen Iverson, one of the most prolific scorers ever in NBA history. He had all the moves in his bags, all the tricks. And the couple of layups that stood out to me was the ones in 2000 and 2001. 2000 where, you know, he had the and one on Tim Duncan when Vince Carter went behind the back pass to him and he just kind of like turned his body 180 on Tim Duncan and reversed it behind his head and stuff like that. That was crazy. He got the and one there. And in 2001 where he did the acrobatic kind of the and one move where he kind of just flipped it up in the air and just catches it and does the layup. What's crazy is that Vince Carter thought Iverson was throwing him an alley-oop for the dunk, but then, you know, he's not. You know, Iverson's so tricky. He just threw it to himself and just did a reverse. And the other one was when Vince Carter actually threw Allen Iverson the alley-oop. This was probably my favorite one because Iverson was behind the backboard as he caught it, and then he like shot it with his right hand like that while he was behind the backboard. Like, that's crazy, man. Like, Iverson he's the
greatest pound for pound player, man.
For sure, man. Greatest pound for pound player, man.
Now we're moving on to something a little bit more recent. There was a lot of beef between Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook. You know, Kevin Durant had just left the Thunder to join the Warriors. Russell Westbrook, being a very emotional person, took it to heart, and he didn't even want to speak to Kevin Durant anymore, shake his hand, even talk to him.
He didn't want to look at him.
And leading up to the game, there was a lot of tension building up because all of the media was saying, oh, Russell Westbrook and Kevin Durant, they're going to be playing together again. How will it go? But I guess they put that aside for just one game. And in this crazy give-and-go play, Westbrook tosses Kevin Durant the ball in the post, and Durant throws it over his shoulder for this monster jam by Russell Westbrook.
It was crazy because it's like, when they were first on the court, we were thinking like, okay, are they gonna pass each other the ball, right? And then it's just like, it was like one of the very first plays between them. It was just crazy, and then the whole crowd went wild. This is a very iconic moment between, you know, two of the greatest players who are gonna go down as two of the greatest players ever. They were once, you know, like this, man. They were like brothers, right? They, you know, the Brody and the Slim Reaper. But then ever since he left, everyone changed his nickname to the Snake. And next up, we have a play that came from the logo himself, Mr. Clutch Jerry West in the 1972 All-Star Game. He hit the game-winning shot to end the game, and there hasn't been a game-winning shot, you know, ever in the NBA All-Star Game. And you know, they call him Mr. Clutch for a reason, man. You can say whatever you want, but back in the day, basketball wasn't as exciting or it wasn't as flashy or whatnot. Doesn't matter. Jerry West got the job done.
Yes, sir.
You know, just dribble down the court, give him that half hezzy, and then turn around, pull up. Say whatever you want. Like I said, it may be boring or wasn't exciting, but it's still a game winner.
Yep.
Still a game winner.
Still ice cold. And now we're moving on to the greatest moments in previous All-Star games. Maybe not one or two plays, but the entire moment had a lot of meaning and became very iconic. To kick it off, we have the 1998 All-Star game, where Kobe Bryant faced off against Michael Jordan. It was a great moment just because it was like the passing of a torch in NBA. You could tell that Kobe was hungry, he was young, he had only been in the league for 2 years. Michael obviously established as the GOAT at this point already. But Kobe did not care who was standing in front of him.
Nope.
He went at him, he attacked him. And at the end of the game, you could really tell that, you know, there was a change coming to the NBA.
This was basically the student versus teacher. Like you said, passing of the torch. We always talk about Kobe's, you know, killer instinct and his mentality is it doesn't matter who he steps on the court with. He's just trying to go all out. He's trying to shine. It was crazy because at the end of the game, you can see the mutual respect that, you know, they had for one another. Kobe did shine out this game. You know, he had some crazy plays. He had the alley-oop from Kevin Garnett.
Yeah.
He had the behind the back to fake out the Kevin Mutombo. And he just, you know, he just showed out. He's just, you know, a young kid just trying to have fun.
Yeah.
The All-Star game. And, you know, Jordan being Jordan, you know, he got to dominate, you know.
Yeah.
So Jordan ended up still winning the game. And as a fan, you can see as Jordan's time is coming to an end, you know, he's leaving the game. You can see the birth of a new great player, you know, as in Kobe Bryant, you know, entering the league and, you know, just basically making a name for himself. And what better way to do it, you know, center stage, NBA All-Star.
With all the best players.
With all the best players, man, you just got to show out, man.
Yeah.
Moving on to another great moment was in the 2001 All-Star game. The East was actually down 21 points with 9 minutes to go against Kobe's West team. And, you know, with Iverson, as much heart as he has, he wasn't ready to give it up, right? He had to come back. He scored 15 points in the last quarter to help bring his East team to a 111-110 comeback victory against the West. And he won MVP honors. And what's crazy is that after he got the MVP, you know, he was actually looking for his coach to, you know, to help give him praise because that was the year Iverson, you know, he kind of put his ego down and just adapt to his coach and listen to what he has to say and how he can lead his team to be a better leader and a better player by, you know, listening to what his coach had to tell him to do.
And that paid off because that year they made it to the finals.
They made it to the finals, man. Iverson took the Sixers to the finals that year. And it was a very memorable year and moment for Iverson in that All-Star game. It was crazy. I mean, being down 21 with 9 minutes to go.
Can you imagine?
And also, I mean, shout out to Stephon Marbury, man. Dude, he helped out with the comeback, but Iverson, you know, did his thing by dropping 15.
This year he became the All-Star MVP.
And it just wasn't that. It's just like what made me feel like I put this on the list was, you know, his love for his coach at the very end, you know.
Yeah.
It's just his respect for him. He's like, yo, coach, where's my coach? He was looking for his coach because he wanted to share the honor with him.
So one of my favorite moments was the 2003 All-Star game, which was Michael Jordan's final All-Star game.
It was crazy. A lot of things happened. Like,
yeah, one, the jerseys were a throwback to like the 85, 88 jerseys. So they're the classic white and red. Then you had Michael Jordan wearing the Royal 18s.
Super clean.
On top of that, he hit the game-tying fader over Shawn Marion.
That was classic. A classic MJ right there, man.
I mean, you could just...
Like, you knew it was going to happen.
It was like watching like a dove fly away, bro. It was just like majestic and sad and...
Jordan came into that game chucking. He took like 20-something attempts. Knowing it is his last All-Star game, so he decides to like, I guess, to try to show out for the fans.
Yeah.
What was also memorable about this, I'm sure a lot of you guys don't know, was Vince Carter was actually supposed to be the starter because he had more votes than Jordan. But, you know, I guess Vince Carter, being the nice guy that he is, he gave up his starting spot to Jordan because, you know, this is his farewell game, you know, the last All-Star game of his career. So, you know, Vince Carter gave up his spot. So Jordan was able to have his name get called and announced for the last time.
Yeah.
So that's a good thing by VC.
It was just a great moment overall, you know, the respect, and you could tell that they're having fun, but, you know, it was like the respect, you know, a lot of these guys knew that they were sharing the court with the greatest basketball player of all time. Yeah, a lot of,
the young guys were just having fun, just being honored to be, you know, on the same court as Jordan. And finally, this is probably the most memorable / greatest moment in NBA All-Star history. 1992, Magic Johnson returns after leaving the NBA. you know, after he realized he contracted HIV back in '91. He said he was going to retire and leave the game, but it was amazing to see the NBA, the league, and the NBA players around the league wholeheartedly embrace his return.
Yeah. It
was just a very special moment for Magic and the NBA. It was crazy. Magic went one-on-one against Isaiah Thomas and Jordan down the stretch. You know, it was real fun times. And to top everything all off, at the very end, he had a turnaround three-pointer on Isaiah Thomas after they were just kind of like going at each other just for fun. It was crazy. It was a crazy moment.
This was one of the moments that I feel was greater than basketball.
For sure, definitely.
You know, bigger than the All-Star game, bigger than the NBA. You know, someone as great as Magic Johnson. To unfortunately have his career cut that short, and to just have everybody accept him and give him another chance to play for one of the last times.
Right, because there are certain players, we're not going to say their names, I don't want to say anything bad about them, they didn't want to play with Magic.
No.
I don't want to touch him, man. I might, like, get something from him.
They're scared of him.
It's just, but like, all the, the true, genuine, his friends, teammates, they embraced him, they all gave him hugs, and then it was just a warm-hearted feeling in game to watch. I mean, we weren't even born yet. I was born. I mean, I was born. I was 91. You were 92.
I was 92.
92. So it just happened. So it's like, but to rewatch history and to see what had happened back in the day and to learn about it is just it's amazing. Yeah. By no surprise, Magic Johnson took home the MVP honors, and just a speech. Basically, what he said, he was grateful and honored to share the court with all his fellow teammates and stuff, and it just gives me the chills talking about it, because like PJ said, a moment like this is not just basketball, it's greater than that. It was just crazy. Thank you guys for watching that video on the best plays and greatest moments in an NBA All-Star game. NBA All-Star game is always filled with incredible moments.
And with the NBA All-Star game coming up, we really hope there's going to be a lot of great plays and moments that'll go down in NBA history.
Let us know down in the comments below what were some plays that we might have left out that you guys thought that were, great, amazing plays or memorable moments.
And also, don't forget to like and share this video with all your friends.
Like these 2 videos up there, and if you guys are new to the channel, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Check out our social medias in the description box down below. And until next time, Nelson and PJ from Hoop Life, we out. Peace.